Lots of OEM parts on this car. Not cheap. All right, what's up, guys? Just got back. Damn, that was louder than I thought it was. Just got back from BMW. Got some parts, hopefully enough to get this motor all dialed in. Should have everything I need now. I got the water pump gasket and some other little O-rings and stuff. I'm just gonna start putting together as much as I can on this motor. All right. All right, so went through, pulled all the bolts, got the lower pan off. Now I'm gonna go ahead and pop off this lower oil pan. Don't want to go too hard on it. There's one little piece here. Oh, there it goes. I mean, honestly, it looks fairly clean for what's going on. Hopefully we get away with just, we'll check the bearings, pull them off. I got some new ones from just some Kings race bearings. Toss in there since we're in here. I'll have to clean up all this stuff here. This rust stuff, I have some crud cutter. It's like, they call it the must for rust. It kind of bubbles up and creates this chemical that's supposed to make it so that it won't rust anymore, but it actually will clean it up a bunch too. It's got an inhibitor in it, so it stops the rust from coming back, hopefully. Let's get back to rod bearings. Yeah. You don't want to fuck this. Oh, there you go. Oh. Those look good. Like it's been done recently. Well, he said it was running good. Yeah. Got all the new rod bearings in with the ARP studs or bolts. That one was a little tricky just because it's so close to the oil pump. So I had to like rotate it around, do one side on one side and one side on the other side, and then I just double checked them. And they're both still at 70 foot-pounds, which is what ARP says to set them to. Right now I'm just gonna do a little test. I mean, it's spinning. It's not like super smooth or anything. Should be fine though. Nothing feels like it's binding other than like, might be the timing tensioner is off a little. But I got a new one. They're said to replace it with an S52. I will be replacing that as well. So yeah, cool. I'm just gonna clean up the oil pan, gasket areas, and start putting that all back together. Alright, so I'm just going to work on cleaning up this oil pan gasket area. Going to be using penetrating oil and a plastic razor blade, and I'm just going to clean up this oil pan gasket area. Just kind of lube it up. Now with this, it should just kind of clean it right up. As you can see, it's working pretty good. Getting on a little bit. This won't scratch it up at all, so you know, that way when you go to put the gasket on, should seal up nicely. Since I was in there, I realized that the rear main seal is leaking, so I popped it out. It looks like the gasket's just super old on it. Pop in a new rear main seal. Hopefully that'll seal up correctly. Then I can put this back in on the bottom down there, down here, and put that back in, and then I can start putting the oil pan back together. And I also have a new baffle for the lower oil pan. This one's, I think, a little bit higher. It's one that everyone says to get. So I'm just like, anything that people are like, oh, while you're in there, might as well do this. So there's a lot of extra parts that I'm ending up doing that I wasn't really planning on doing, but it should be better in the long run. All right, what's up? So still working on this S14. Got a lot going on. Right, Max? Right, buddy? Hi. Yeah. So right now, got it all cleaned up, repainted, did like a little polish on the head, and then just cleared it, kind of sealed it up. It's like a light brushed look on it. Looking all right. Oil pan's off. Just give you a little peek of what we were talking about here. These guys are really dirty. We're gonna hit them with some brake cleaner. I wanna make sure they're closed first. You can kind of see in there. I'm gonna grab a flashlight. See how white and crystallized it looks in there? That's not really good. Yeah, look at how dirty it is in there. Lots of buildup. In the meantime, I don't have the oil pan on there. I figured, why not? Be a good time to do it. If any fluid gets into it, any other gunk, it should just hopefully go straight out the bottom. But I'm gonna try and close up each valve, clean it out. And once I'm done with that, go ahead and pop on the oil pans, because there's an upper and lower pan. Put on the water pump and getting close to getting her back all the way. All right. Yeah, let's get to it. All right, what's up? Finally got the oil pan on. The motor's starting to come back together. It's looking pretty good. The gasket oozed out a little bit there, but you know, whatever. Still able to clean it up a little. Sealed up nicely. Now I got like the water pump right here. And then other than that, it's just a matter of like piecing everything back together. I'm still missing like the lower part of the pan. I need to clean that up. I also need to clean up like the power steering pump and some other little bits too. So why don't I just install the water pump right now? Slap this guy up on there. Put a tiny bit of RTV black on there just to kind of hold it in place while I'm trying to get everything put together here. Doesn't hurt to seal it up a little bit too. Yeah, see, it's looking good. Here's the water pump. As you can see, it's OEM. It even says BMW Group on it. So weird that there wasn't a gasket on it. But whatever. Just gonna slap it on there. It's not really slapping anything on this car. How long is there? For some reason, when I ordered it from Pelican, it didn't come with a gasket. You're paying over $500 for a water pump. It should probably come with a $3 gasket. Alright, so while we're at it, I guess we can install a pulley. Cool. Alright, knock it in and start working on the other stuff on the side. It'll be like the cooling water hoses and the AC bracket. Gonna just take a pick and pull out these O-rings. Yeah, I knew when I was gonna pull that off that I need to replace these. There's no way they're still gonna be good, especially on a motor this old. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, these things are toast. Toast! These are probably original. And if you consider the fact that the bearings were original, at least they seem like it because they all had the 1287 date on them. Alright, I'm not going to bore you, but that's what it is. Let's go to time lapse and there we go. I'm just going to put together this AC compressor bracket. Just kind of prep it to go back onto the motor. I'm not going to install the actual AC condenser until after it's in the car, but it's good to get the bracket on there just to make it easier. But I had to get some new bushings because they were just completely toast. I mean, I literally like took off the bolts and they just came right out, which, you know, understandable. But the black ones actually look fine. You know, and they still aren't. They're not like super hard or anything either. So maybe they were replaced at some point, or maybe they just didn't get abused too much. So I'm just gonna put this together real quick, and after that we'll go ahead and start working on the actual motor itself, just putting stuff back on it. Yeah, all right.
Looks good. It's got the new bracket on there. The other one's broken when I pulled it off. This whole thing was actually cracked like right here. I'm sure they were loving that. Whoever the previous owner was on this thing, slap that on. Cool. Yeah, dude. I'm just gonna do it's actually an upgrade. It's considered to be an upgrade for the S14 motor. And what it is, it's an S52 timing tensioner. They're just known to be kind of faulty and bad, and the S52 ones are like a lot more bulletproof. Everybody says to do it while I have the motor apart, so I'm just gonna listen to them and do it. So yeah, here we go. All right, so it's all cleaned up. Basically just did like a test fit of the valve cover that I got back from powder coat onto there, which ties it all in and makes it look good. That is pretty much ready for me to put the flywheel and clutch back on, put on the transmission, and then drop this thing back in the car. Or drop this thing into the car, I should say, not back in, because it didn't come out of that car. Yeah, maybe I'll grab a light so we can kind of get some close up. Yeah, on the valve cover there, I try to do like this Alpine Wise. It has like a little bit of a cream color on the paint job, so I try to match that up. But yeah, there it is. So yeah, there you go. Got it as put back together as I can for now. Obviously I gotta drop it off the engine stand, pop on the flywheel, the clutch, put the transmission back on it, and then we're just gonna go ahead and toss it in. See how it's doing. I still gotta do some more work on the body itself, but yeah, it's pretty much prepped. Put it in there and just start putting everything else back together. All right, catch you guys later. It's looking good.